Hello everyone and welcome to the first episode of the Wildstar Housing Guide. My name is Shotgun and I'm going to explain to you anything you need to know about the Wildstar housing system. In this first episode I'm going to explain to you all the basics of the Wildstar housing system and where you can find everything. Now this first episode might not be interesting for veteran players, so you can skip ahead to the second episode, but for new players this is invaluable information. In later episodes I will explain to you the little tips and tricks you can use to improve your housing and to make your dream plot. Now let's get into it, shall we? So let's start off with the hotbar. The hotbar will appear once you enter your housing plot and contains buttons to the different windows that the housing plot has. First you have the landscape, the remodel, the crate, the vendor, place the core list, toggle edit mode on or off, and finally the return to teleporter. I'm going to explain to you in detail what each button does and well, what you can actually do with it. So first I'm going to explain to you what these two buttons over here do. These buttons allow you to move your hotbar. So right now the hotbar is nice cozy above my skill bar, but if I want it up here, for instance, I can push this one and we'll move up here. If I want it back down here, I push this one, moves back down here. However, if you want it down on the side over here, you press this button. And so you can move it around with these buttons and put it in a place where you feel it's most comfortable for you. So here is the first button, the landscape button. When you click this button, you get this nice little window over here. This is where you can place your house and place all your landscape enhancements. Now if you want to place your initial house, you click on the big one over here and you pick your house that you want to build. Now the houses are faction specific, however they're not race specific. So as an Oran I can of course build an Oran house, but I can also build an Exile house or even a Granok house. Now from level 1 to 34 you can only pick a cozy house. They cost 1 gold each and well, you are stuck with that one. However, if you want to have a spacious house, from level 35 on you can build one for free platinum and it will replace your old home and all the items inside that home will be moved into your crate. Now what you can also, as you can see, build here are what they call enhancements. These enhancements you can buy through here, these windows, and you can place them like, for example, a crafting kiosk or a barbecue pit or even a garden. With these enhancements you can also, like I said, build a garden or even a mineral deposit where that spawns mining nodes if you are a miner, so you can actually mine from inside your home. Now next to that there are also things called challenges. Challenges are little enhancements that have a challenge stuck on them, like for example the medical station. As you can see, places plugged to attempt the medic challenge. The medic challenge is this little challenge where you have to revive people on the benches and help them get up in a certain amount of time, and once you do that you either get a bronze, silver or gold reward, medal, and you can pick like any other challenge from different things, rewards. And those rewards consist of either vouchers, renown, or even some special decor items that you can place on your plot. So that's pretty neat. Now there's a difference between small ones. You can have 4 small ones and 2 big ones, and they all differ. Like for example on the big ones I can for example put a corrupted laboratory if I want, or I can even build a biome. And On the small ones, you can put small stuff like, for example, a barbecue pit or an anti-defense tower. What you also have are little tiny instances and teleports. Like, you can put a teleporter down to go to a specific area. But you also have expeditions. And expeditions are little tiny instances you can go to. You can do them at any level. And you can do them either solo or in a group. And they also have a rewards in them. So that's pretty nice. Now, what you can also do is, if you want to see what the plot item looks like, you can go to this window over here. And you can skip through all these images and see what it looks like. What you might also notice are these little icons over here. This little wrench means that the item is broken, and it's only for stuff you can interact with. So challenges and, for example, these plots over here, like the mining plot. Now, if for example, my mining plot is broken, it won't spawn any mining nodes, and the existing mining nodes will disappear. So you have to repair it. How do you repair it? Well, you click on the plot that needs repairing and click on this button over here, and then you repair it. You can also see down here how long the plot still has. What you can also you can also see is that, for example, here I've got 5 hours and 20 minutes left, and once I repair it, once it's broken and I repair it, it will be there for 7 days. After 7 days, it will be broken again, and you have to repair it again. Now, for most of these plots, like for this example, you only need to pay gold. But for example, the cubic feeder, which is a challenge, you need a special item called the Fab Kit. Now, the Fab Kit you can get through either different vendors, reputation vendors, or through the auction house, or you can craft it yourself by being an architect. You can also find them throughout the world by random drops, or some bosses drop some special Fab Kits. The second button is the remodel button. What the remodel button does is it opens this window over here, and here you can change the outlook of your plot, like the sky, the door to your house, the entryway, the walls, and even the roof. So for instance, if I don't like this roof over here on my spacious house, I can click on this one and make another roof, which is called the Exile Human Wide Roof. As you can also see here, it will preview, and you can turn preview on and off, and we'll put it in your housing configuration. For example, if I want to build my walls, I click here on the walls and then click on bluestone, and it changes to bluestone, or maybe darkstone, or maybe I like some red bricks. Now there's also the entryway. Here, see here. By the way, this number over here isn't gold, but this is renown, which you get through grouping. So grouping may allow you to get more different housing stuff. But as you can see, I can change it here. Can even change door if I'd like. And finally, I can change the sky. Cold weather, dark. Maybe I want to be in outer space. Or maybe I like it a little bit hazy. Or if I feel really nifty, and if I have the renown for it, I can go for a starry night. Isn't that pretty? Now you can also click on each of these preview buttons to remove each element. And if you don't like an item, then you can remove it here. Example, and I can buy the rest if it allows me, because I don't have the 1500 renown, I can't buy it, so I have to remove this. Now I can buy the upgrades, the green metal door and the Exile Human Wide Roof, by clicking on the buy upgrades window, and here it will show you how much it costs. Now, the thing is, right now, while I'm playing this, once you buy like a sky, for example, once you buy it once, you get that item, but you have to rebuy the old stuff. So if I buy, for example, the dark, I buy the upgrade, everything is dark. But if I want to go back to the default sky, I have to pay 50 copper. They are going to change it so that once you buy this, one time, you keep it and you can change it around. So stuff is going to be a little bit more expensive, but once you buy it, it's yours and you can change it at any time you like or you want. So that's pretty nice. Now they're going to start with sky, and they're also going to do the same with the door, the entry, the walls and the roof. If I go inside my house, you will notice the remodel will change to ceiling, trim, walls, floor and lighting. Now this is only for indoor stuff. So if I like, for example, chew plaster on my ceiling, you can see over there, it changes right there. Same goes for the trim, little trimming and so on. And this, for when you have the cozy house, it changes for everything in your house because it's so small. However, with the big houses, it changes per room. For example, I can go over here, you can see the room configuration changes over there, and I can put a nice little XL arc house trim over here and a blue plaster, and as you can see, it's different from what I have over there. It also disappears once I move out of that home. And same goes for the upstairs area. Now notice I have a lot of these walls over here. These are custom walls, so they don't change with it. So the next button on the hotbar is the crate button. The crate button shows everything that is inside your crate and you haven't put down yet. So all the items that you buy through either the vendor or through the auction house or from you find in the world, and well, once you find it in the world, for example the treadmill, if I right click the treadmill, it will go inside my crate. So these items are not placed down. But for example, I can click on my bookcase and push the send to crate button, and will send it directly into my crate. So, and you can also browse here through the types like beds, building blocks, fireplace, a lot more buttons that you can see in the vendor that you can search. You can even search through here if you are looking for that item. And here is also shows how many of that item you own. Now, what you can also see is the decor placed here and the decor owned, and mannequins and lights. There is a limit on how many items you can own and how many you can place. For example, right now I own 785 items, so I can only buy 50 more items, and this includes the items that are inside my crate. Now here you can see the items I placed inside, and those are 474. This is only for the inside. If I go, for example, outside and I click on a crate, you can see it's 300 of 300. You can only place 300 items outside, and you can place 800 items inside and own in total of 800 items. So if you got 300 outside, you can only place 500 items inside the building with nothing left in your crate. Now there's also a limit to the numbers of lights you can have, because lights, well, the reasoning Carbine gave for limiting light is performance issues. So if you put down a lot of lights, you will see a decrease in performance. So you can only place down 20 lights in total, inside and outside combined. They want to separate it to where you can place a limited number inside and a limited number outside, so you can have like 40 lights total, but 20 inside, 20 outside. You can also have one mannequin, and mannequins I can actually show you. Mannequins are items that you can place like this one, and you can put armor on, and just a little bit of showy. So now we're going to the vendor instantly, because the vendor is where you can buy a lot of the decor items. For instance, an animal bust or animal head. If I want to buy it, you just click on the purchase and it shows you the confirmation window and you can purchase it. You can also filter through like accents or audio, banner flags, and you can also rotate it in the preview window over here. Now you can't buy all items through the vendor. Some items you find throughout the world, or you can craft by being an architect. So keep that in mind. Some items also cost renown, as you can see, like this lob signpost over here. You can also instantly place an item from the vendor, like so. And you can click the buy button, and once you press the buy button, it will be placed right over there. You can even move it around while inside this window. But I will explain that later on in this video. And now we come to the final three buttons. The place decor list, toggle edit mode, and return to teleporter. Now, the place decor list is a list that shows you all the items that you placed inside and outside. So what you can do here is you can, for example, click this excess data cube and we'll highlight this excess data cube that I placed down. Now, what I can do with it is I can move it around, or I can push send to crate, which will send it directly into my crate. I can also send all to crate, which means that it will send all the items out here into my crate. I can also delete the item if I wanted. For example, if I have reached my crate space and I don't really want this item anymore, I want a different item, I simply delete the item. And finally, we also have the toggle edit mode and the return to teleport. Toggle edit mode is for when you run around, and for example, I've toggled it on right now. It gets highlighted and I'm running around. I'm like, ooh yeah, nice tree. Oh, I right clicked on the tree and now I'm moving it around, but I don't really want to do that. So if I don't want to do that, I just toggled it off. Now I can right click the tree, nothing happens. It's just a safe way, really. Also, if you want to use interactable items like the mailbox, if I have my edit mode toggled on, I can't use it. I right click and it just gets highlighted, press F, doesn't do anything. If I want to use my mailbox, I just toggle it off, and now you can see I can use my mailbox by clicking F or right clicking on it. We also have the return to teleporter button. When you are building and get stuck somewhere and can't get out, you can press this button and will teleport you to the starting place where you spawn in. So really handy if you get stuck. Now I am going to explain to you the neighboring system, because next to a friends list you also have a neighbors list. Neighbors are people who can have easy access to your plot at any time. So you press O and then you get the social tab, and you can go to neighbors, contacts, guild, but we're interested in the neighbors list here over here. So all these people are my neighbors. Neighbors, like as I said, have easy access. So if, for example, I want to visit Flynn, he's my neighbor, I can press visit and I will go towards his plot. Now you can also see the roommate over here. Roommates are people who can change stuff around your plot. So if you need have a friend who's really good at building stuff, or you just have a big project and want people to help you build stuff, you just set them to roommate and they can change anything you like. Now there's also this little thing, and that shows that she's my friend, but next to being my friend she's also my roommate, because that's my alt. Alts are always set to roommate status. If I want to add a player to my as my neighbor, I just click the add player button and I put in the name. If I want to make someone my roommate, I just click on name, click modify, and then set to roommate. Here you can also remove the player, but he's a nice guy. I'm not going to remove him. Now you can also visit public plots by clicking on this button, and will show you all the properties that are open to the public. However, there is also an add-on called the visitor add-on, which is a very nice add-on. I would recommend anyone to use it, because you can type in any name and you go to that plot if he's either your roommate or if he has a public plot. Because here it does show you a lot of plots, but it doesn't show you every public plot. Now, if you want to make your plot public, all you have to do is press the remodel button and go to this little button over here. This is also where you can change the name of your plot. It will cost some renown. And this is where you can put your visitor rules. So right now mine is all public, but you can put it on neighbors only, roommates only, or even private. Private means only you can join. Roommates can join. Neighbors, everyone but the people who are not in your neighbors list can join. And public is everyone can join you. Now, neighbors can also harvest your nodes. What that means is that they can come to your plot and they can click on a node and harvest it. However, there is a resource sharing button over here where you can set how much they get. Right now mine is on 100% owner and 0% neighbor, which means that if a neighbor comes over here and mines my mining nodes, everything will go to me. Everything he gets will be sent automatically by email to me. However, if I feel nice, I can set it to 50-50. So I get 50% of what he mines and he gets the rest. Or I can even be very generous and put it on 0-100, where he gets everything that he mines. But I'm a greedy boss, so I'm going back to 100-0. Now I am going to show you how to visit a plot. So I press O and I want to go to a neighbor. For example, I want to go to my alts plot because I want to change some stuff over there. Click on it and I press visit. And now I am at my alts plot. And can move around, can look around. And because I'm a roommate, I can even change place stuff. Except roommates can't change the landscape or remodel. This is all for the owner itself. Keep that in mind. Now, if you want to go back to your own plot, there's a very simple button you can press. Just go to your social window, press neighbors, and then there's this button which will teleport you back to your house and doesn't recall your recall button. Put it on your cooldown, which you can find over here. This is when you are in the world and you want to go to your house. You can press this and it will have a 20-minute cooldown and it will put you into your own housing plot. However, if you push this button over here, you go to your own plot. Takes a little bit to load. There we go. You will go to your own plot. And as you can see, it doesn't trigger your recall button over here. Now I am going to explain to you the resting XP bonuses that you get from your plot and the housing bonus board. So the housing bonus board is a nice little feature where you have this board on your housing plot. You go to it and you can choose a buff for that day. It's a 24-hour buff. For example, a 5% questing and hunting bonus XP. So when I go leveling, I can click this and I will get more experience from killing mobs. However, there's also a group PvE bonus, which is for adventures and dungeons, and a PvP bonus. Now, as you can see, right now it's 5% questing, 10% group, and 5% PvP. This changes every day. So, for example, next day, It might be 10% questing and 5% group and 5% PvP. Or it might become 10% PvP and 5-5. It will always be 2 5% and 1 10%. This changes every day. Now keep in mind, once I click this, I will get the buff and I can't get any other buff. It's only one per day and will stay there for 24 hours. You can pick a new buff at the start of the next day when these bonuses change. So keep that in mind. Now you might have noticed these little icons over here, and you might ask yourself, what do they do? Well, these give you rested XP bonuses. So for example, I now have an ambient small, which gives me a small decor bonus for resting XP, and a medium bonus from comfort. And these go up to large. So you've got small, medium and large. Some items give these bonuses, not all, but some. And so some give a small bonus, some give a large bonus. You only need one large item to give you the large bonus, and you only need one small item for a small bonus. However, these don't stack, so you can't have a small, medium and large and get all three bonuses. You either get small or medium or large. Now I am going to show you how to place items. So I go to the vendor tab, and for example I want a nice wall. So I type in Auron wall. There's an Auron wall. You can see, nice wall. And I can either right click on it, on anywhere in the world to place it. So I can manipulate it, and I can also just purchase it, but I'm just going to buy it like that. Now if I right click on the wall while in edit mode, you can see these little three buttons. I won't go into great detail what the advanced controls do, but I will explain how to link, what the link item does, and well, centigrade, it's pretty obvious. If you don't like these buttons, you can click this one and all these buttons will disappear. There's also this slider over here which changes the size. If an item is red, you can't place it there. And that's because if you place it on yourself, you can't place the item. It turns red and you can't place it, you will get an error. Now let's make this wall a little bit smaller, like this, and then you left click and the wall is now this size. Now you also have the linking button. What that does is, if I, for example, go to the crate. By the way, if I buy anything as on someone else's plot, it will go, as a roommate, it will go into their crate. It will still spend your money, but will go into their crate, and you can't delete items from your the other guy's crate. Just bear that in mind. Now, what the link item does is, for example, I place this wall, and I'm going to place this wall right here, and I'm going to move it, and like that. I'm going to press place. There we go. Both items are placed. Now, for example, if I want to make this wall bigger and I want this wall to scale with it, I can link the items. I right click, then you toggle the options if it isn't toggled. Press this and you right click on the decor that you wanted to link. Now, as you can see, this item is now the parent of this items. So if I move around this item, the other item will move with it. Like this and like this. When you click this item, you can see that it says unlink from parent. So this is the parent and this is the child. So what this means is I can move this item around, no problem. This item will stay right over here. If I want to, but if I move this item around, this item will be stuck on it. You always want the same parent and never different parents, because otherwise it might become all screwy. You will have a lot of problems with it. Now there's also this little thing over here, you might have noticed. What this does is it turns your items around. Now finally, I'm not going in great detail, that's for the next episode, but I will show you the advanced options. If I toggle this one, you'll see this window over here, and it will show you a lot of stuff. And I will explain to you what each and everything one of this one does in the next episode. Thank you for watching, and I will hope to see you next time.